I had actually meant to talk about this in the same exact video that I did about Amber Geiger, the one that I just recently posted up, and this one's going to be right. This is the one that you're seeing right after that one. A couple years ago, 3 years ago, in fact, I had did a video, not 3 years ago, it was last year, maybe 2 years ago, in 2016. I did a video about this incident right here. Now, just to bring you up to speed, there was this guy who was driving his vehicle, and he was driving it recklessly. And these two guys right here, whose names are Derek Stafford and Norris Greenhouse Jr., and the father, the white father, his name is Chris Few. And he was driving recklessly while he had his son Jeremy Martis in the front seat, and that's Jeremy Martis sitting right there in the middle. So when the two cops pulled him over, for reckless speeding, just like as usual, they came up beside him and they came from behind. The Chris Few decided that he was going to use his vehicle as a weapon and try to run over one of the cops. And in natural state, the cop shot at the window to try to stop him. Now, unbeknownst to the cop, he did not know that there was a child in the front seat. See, it was so many violations already leading up to this before the actual shooting of Jeremy Martis. 1, driving recklessly. 2, child endangerment. 3, using your vehicle as a weapon. That's 3 charges right there that they should have got on the father. Key words, should have got. Let's continue. So the cop shoots into the window, and one of the bullets hits Jeremy Martis in the back of the head because Jeremy Martis was in the front seat. When Jeremy Martis, at the age of 7, and I believe he was 7, should have been in the back seat, not the front seat, not in the passenger seat. He should have been in the back. 9 times out of 10, probably had he been in the back, he probably would have survived, or the cop would have been able to see him, because in the back seat, his head might have poked up a little bit over the seat, but then again, who knows? Because if he was maybe in one of those high seats or something like that, he probably would have seen him. But in a passenger seat, he definitely wouldn't have seen him, because the passenger seat sits up higher and it has a headrest, so you couldn't tell, and it was dark. And he didn't know there was another person in the car. So when he shot into that window and Chris Few used his car as a weapon, he didn't know that the boy was dead. Let's fast forward a little bit. In the same week, or within that same little short time frame, these 2 officers were arrested, booked, and charged with manslaughter, with second-degree murder and attempted second-degree murder as a result of the incident. Y'all heard that correctly. They were charged with second-degree murder for the child and attempted second-degree murder as a result. Attempted second-degree murder meaning the attempted murder of this boy's dad. Now, mind you, what I just told you, the dad drove reckless, he child endangerment, and he tried to use his vehicle as a weapon. But these 2 get charged instantly. They get fired, they get their badges and gun taken all away from them. They pretty much treat them now like they were just a regular casual black person on the street that probably tried to attempt to harass this guy. Mind you, nothing happens to the dad. Nothing. Until the following year, when the dad gets hemmed up for domestic abuse charges when he was having domestic exchanges with his then girlfriend, and that's the only time I really heard about him having a charge against him, and I don't even know if that stuck. Fast forward to 2016. These 2 individuals, well, this one right here on the right, the far right, got charged, was found guilty of manslaughter of Jeremy Martis. He is currently in jail serving a 40-year sentence because of it. They didn't get him on the second-degree murder or the second-degree attempt murder. They got him on manslaughter, and they gave him 40 years. Now, the outcome for this one right here on the left, I think he was getting around maybe the same time, but they did something. They dug into his past and found something that now they're going to tack that on to the sentence that he's getting. And I'm like, what does what happened in the past have anything to do with this? Well, it turns out they said that this guy right here has some kind of relations with Chris Few's girlfriend or something like that. Like she was having an affair or something like that. I'm like, what does that have to do with it? Like, why? Like, I don't get that. Like, that did not make any sense to me whatsoever. But let's not forget, this is America. How about a little bit after both of these two were found guilty of their crimes, guess what got implemented? The Blue Lives Matter bill. And guess what state it got implemented in? Louisiana, the same state where this happened at. It happened in Marksville, Louisiana, where that bill is supposed to protect cops. Ironically, they implemented after what happened with this. I said all of that to say this. Amber Guyger killed Botham Jean in his apartment. It took them 3 weeks to arrest her. It took them days to charge her with manslaughter. Just manslaughter. Now, this guy right here got 40 years for manslaughter. I highly doubt she's going to get that. I highly doubt it. Amber Guyger got protection from every angle possible. These two, however, were left out to dry with no protection whatsoever. None. No one came to their aid. It's a reason why I titled this video Just a Reminder, because I don't want y'all to forget this story. I talk about it quite often in situations where it needs to be brought up because it just needs to be, but I'm giving you a reminder because some of you either never heard of the story or you forgot completely about it, but I did not forget. It took them days to release Amber Guyger's picture, but we found out about these two like that. They wasted no time putting their names, their occupation, their age, and their mugshots out there. These two killed this boy on accident because of the recklessness and endangerment of his dad. Amber Guyger meant to do what she did to Botham Jean. It's a lot of similarities, but it's a lot of differences as well. The major difference is, of course, is Amber Guyger is white and she's a woman. These two are black men. They were ready to hem them up, and they didn't care that these two were cops. They didn't care what kind of credentials they may have had or any kind of relevance they may have brought to the departments that they worked in. Amber Guyger, there's a very strong chance that she could walk from this because of all the protection she's getting and the leeway that she has received thus far. These two, on the other hand, did not stand a chance. They are serving 40 years in jail because of an accident. They went from treating them like they could have been the best cops on the force in that department, in that precinct, to the most low-level criminal ever known to man. Just like that. Meanwhile, Amber Guyger gets treated the complete opposite. They're treating her like she's a complete angel who just may have lost her way. And they have to try to find her back on that path. Or lead her back on that path. And that it was just a mistake. Like I said in my previous video, they didn't want to fire her. They didn't. If they did, they would have done to her what they did to them. And as a matter of fact, she should have got fired ASAP, instantly. We should have known who she was. We shouldn't have had to ask, who is she? What is her name? What is her background like? And we still don't know what her background is like. They scrubbed all her social media accounts, and the only thing left was her Pinterest account. And that's how we got a little glimpse into her life. Just a small, tiny glimpse. Not enough for them to really build something. And I bet you, speaking of digging into the past, I bet you they're not going to do that to her. I bet they're not going to go back to her middle school days or her high school days and say, oh, she was smoking weed. Oh, she skipped school. Oh, she might have possibly slept with her teacher. They're not going to do that. They're going to treat her like the sweet little angel. And because she's a white woman and in this establishment, it will not be hard for them to do. They are going to give her the Casey Anthony treatment. I'm seeing the writing is on the wall right now. I'm seeing it right now. But that's all I really wanted to bring to you about this. That's why I say when I do these videos, it's hard for me to forget any of the stuff that happens. And I'm glad that I don't forget, because when I need to bring something up and bring to the table as far as connecting it to other stories, it's always good so people can see what angle I'm coming from. But y'all let me know what you think down below in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. The links to my contact will be in the description, and the links to the shirts will be in the pin down to the comments below. I'll talk to you in the next one.